The judge was just telling me that he didn't mention that I'm also on NPR sometimes, just in case people have things left on the table that they could throw. I'm the only Republican on NPR, and whenever anything Republican happens, they have to call me. Seriously, this is true. When Dick Cheney shot the fellow I was the only person that NPR knew that owned a gun. And they actually called me. They called me and they said, "So was it like a gun on a ship? You know, like, or?" And I patiently explained the difference between a shotgun and a rifle and how these things happen. Now, I'm a little daunted here because I am no Acton scholar. However, I have read the book that he didn't write. The History of Liberty. And from that reading, I know that I'm just not a fit person to be addressing the Acton Institute's annual dinner. I am not moral enough. I'm not philosophical enough, and I am not, judging by my bank balance, knowledgeable enough about the free market. I'm certainly not the right person to plumb the depths of Lord Acton's brilliant, subtle, and complex thinking. I mean, and a man with intelligence so great that he was, and he is, the only intellectual to ever face full-on the profound conundrums of religious faith, moral philosophy, economic activity, and political action. I mean, what other man than Lord Acton, so deeply religious, so perfectly devoted to the cause of liberty, would begin his 1877 lecture on liberty with the words, "Liberty, next to religion, has been the motive of good deeds and the common pretext of crime." What other sage, at once so strong in his belief in God's blessings and so committed to human freedom that he could state that paradox flat out? He said, "Liberty is so holy a thing that God was forced to permit evil that liberty might exist." So, all this is by way of saying that I am too stupid to be speaking to you tonight. But in fairness to myself, I am not just stupid. I am a student of stupidity. I am a political reporter. We live in a democracy. We live in a democracy. We live in a democracy ruled by the people. 50% of people are below average intelligence. Mathematical fact explains everything about politics. It also illuminates Lord Acton's maxim, "It is easier to find people to govern themselves than people fit to govern others." And that's why we must continue to support democracy, even when democracy is acting up the way it has been doing lately. We don't want to be ruled only by an elite. We don't want to be ruled only by the best and the brightest. That would be too much like being married to Nancy Pelosi. So, again, I quote Lord Acton. He said, "The danger is not that a particular class is unfit to govern. Every class is unfit to govern." And that seems to be particularly true of the political class that is governing or failing to govern in Washington right now.